Should I unmute this?
Not yet. I'm going to go through the history first. I was just getting to that. So here's how this one's going to work. I'm going to go over the history of this, and we're going to spread out, staying away from the vehicles as much as we possibly can. Looks like we're probably about 7 or 8 vehicles in here. People get really funny about that, so really just stay away from their cars. So, welcome to a parking lot, everybody, right next to a smelly dumpster. Congratulations, you made it. I told you I'd take you guys to weird spots. I just took us to wherever there weren't any vehicles where we could all fit. So, with this particular space, this is where I start withholding information on purpose. Once I go through the history, I'll give you guys impromptu questions. I try to keep this one as controlled as possible. You'll see why once I start going through the history. And then I do round robins with you guys to see what's going on with your devices, take a bunch of notes, regroup us, and then give you all of the answers afterwards to show you how it all ties together, if we have anything going on at all. So what is this place? This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion sat in the front of this space, facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up exactly with where we are, with Five Church Restaurant, and went all the way across. And the servant and slave quarters were in the back of the space. That's the layout. Who the hell were these people? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks, in case you weren't paying attention. That's exactly why we're looking for secondary clues in the event you do. Just so you know, you have a partisan out.
No, she wouldn't. What happened to your mansion?
I don't see anything.
Hey there, Eliza.
Huh?
What happened to your mansion?
Oh my god. Pretty.
Hey, Nick.
That's a person, isn't it?
You were my
What
next
is that?
stop.
What is
Okay.
that? What is that? What is
So
that?
it is picking up. Remember,
The
anything
light?
in front of something else. So
Okay.
all of the lines from the gate is what it's picking up on.
Okay, thank God.
No, keep it
Okay.
recording. So other things that you need to worry about, 2 things. First thing, it'll pick up your shadow. So it's not
Okay.
a person on the ground, it's you.
Okay.
Okay, so the
That's
other
good.
thing, anything with leaves is not your friend. All leaves are in front of another leaf. It's always going to try to put a hangman in the tree.
Okay.
It's not really, and even
A
bushes on
ghost,
the ground,
okay.
right. So unless you can get a reaction out of it, like, hey, ghost, can you wave your right hand or lift your left foot, do something silly for me?
Okay.
You know, and always demonstrate. That's the way you kind of get that reaction. We've had those reactions from this camera. It's the only reason why it's still in my tour. I'm not a super big fan of this camera, just because I do a lot of debunking with it.
Okay.
So that's why I gave it to you. You looked a little worried when you guys showed
Okay.
up. I was like,
Yeah,
let me get her
thank you.
something that might be cool, but might not be cool. So
Okay.
put her in a good way.
Okay, thank you.
Hey there, Eliza. What happened to your mansion?
Stop asking her.
What tragedy happened? Did it burn? Somebody died?
I don't think that counts. There's something right there. But I think that's your body. Huh?
Just asking Eliza if there was, what all did she cook?
I don't think that counts. What does that look like?
It's like a horse in a carriage.
Where are you going, Brittany? She's not over there.
He's trying to explain it. Got it.
Eliza's.
Eliza, hello.
She's not in the box.
Oh. Eliza, hello.
Do you like Angelica?
Do you like me? Do you want to be friends? I'm very nice. I can take you shopping.
She has a dog named Buddy.
I have a dog named Buddy. He would like it too. He likes everyone. You can cuddle with him in his crate. He would like that.
I would be. I don't know. Like, can you imagine the probably the beautiful estate that was here? You know?
Yeah.
And then it's now a parking lot with a dumpster sitting in it.
Sad case.
Like, talk about keeping things moving. And
I don't think Eliza wants to come out today.
I think if I were Eliza, I would be pissed.
My back hurts.
I think if I were Eliza, I would be very upset that
I was like a rhino.
this is what came of my home, is a parking lot and a dumpster. How do you feel about this dumpster being here in your home?
Sorry, we're just trying to catch a ghost here. Don't mind us.
How do you feel about having a dumpster in your home? I would. How do you feel having a dumpster in your home site?
Hey Eliza, if you go on the camera, I'll give you $50. Let me record you, Eliza. I'll give you $50.
Do you find this to be ridiculous, Eliza?
Do you think this is
Get
stupid?
back over there.
I don't think there's any.
Like, no, like, just point it over there.
I don't think there's anything. What is that? What's over here?
Hey, Brittany. I think
Yeah.
that's how clear it's going to be. How you doing on your end? Calm
I'm
down
good.
A little bit. Now that I got you working.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen a couple little things on hers, but it, you know.
I think there was something over there.
Remember, that bush is over there too.
That's true.
So,
But it was like right there. Right where the little oval thingy is.
okay, good. So as long as you're recording it, then I'll be able to analyze it.
Okay.
So just keep recording. Hopefully it shows up in my spot check. Kind of see how it goes. Brian, is he got swapped? Yeah.
anything?
I had some over there. Some movement over there.
I know earlier today,
Right here.
earlier I saw like something towards that truck and it looked like a person sitting on top of it.
I keep getting one right here. Like I recorded a good chunk of it right there.
Yeah.
Are you asking her questions?
Yeah, I sure am. How many children do you have?
Does she have children?
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't have any kids.
I thought she did, but she had that one kid.
See,
girl.
look, you want to go over there? But that's where I saw some. You can ask her right there.
I asked her what her biggest success was, and how many children that she had. Was
Oh.
she disappointed in the fact that, her home is now a parking lot and a dumpster? I think she's pretty pissed off about it, though. How many children do you have?
Brittany, anything? Nothing at all. All right, everybody, let's kind of regroup back to where we started. There's really not a whole lot I want to hear from Rob first. What have you heard along the way?
I got right now 3 times.
Right now,
Not getting some food.
you took my spot, man.
Good job, brother. We'll run about 10 minutes over.
Oh, I don't pay attention to time. I just go. Yeah, we're gonna move down a little bit. Just leave it as it is. Brittany, hear anything? Like on the way here, like how close were we? You want to know why that's relevant? Let's talk about it for a second. We'll do it right away. This is what you signed up for.
I did.
But she's grossed out. So, cameras, I'm not going to always keep them rotating us in a group because we're going to stay huddled like this for the entire duration that we're here. Try to point your cameras one way or the other going down the alley. If other tourists come in, just lower your camera pointed at your feet. We will understand that footage. So that's the point. So everybody's recording. And that's how we confirm. You have a square for a record button and not a full circle. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Word list. How many on there? Just a letter H. What else stands out to me there is magic truck. Like, that is weird. Like, I don't know what the hell that means. It's actually very intriguing. So I'm going to dive into that one for you hardcore, but I know what the H means. It's actually our next story. And we're actually closer to it than where we are now because that particular person wants to be on this wall. We just can't access it from here. We got to go up and around so we can actually see what's going on there. So here's what's going to happen here. I'm going to cover this shit up like I said, and then we're going to bolt out of here. We'll go up and around the corner. So we will be taking Paul's camera and we're going to be doing an experiment up there because that'll be our first application. Perfect. So yeah, we're going to get you that battery. We're going to let these things pass through. Light story, so that's good. Hi, ladies.
Excuse us, so sorry.
So this is Philadelphia Alley now. It used to be called Torrance Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So I say some of the duels because dueling was illegal in the 1700s. They had to find hiding spots. This just happened to be one of those hiding spots. So they all tell the same story. All 300 ghost stories come down here now. We're the only ones down here right now. I was going to take this out of my route, but this guy actually followed me around because we will be near a place of raised emotion for him for the rest of the evening. Back on that vision. So for this location, I'm going to give you a few there's hunting, on a campfire, cheesy marshmallow, kind of goes forward like in the past. So let's get into it. The doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. By the way, so here's Heather. You're going to be looking for the initials RI for Rhode Island. So that's part of one of the major things. But the rest of you that are listening to your spirit boxes right now, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl come through, it is not coincidence. It is part of the doctor's name. It happens all the time. Anyway, Dr. Ladd moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancee, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents. And she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow that she just got. And the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money. So he tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. He comes down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. He's going to start his medical practice here. On his way into town, he had a coachman that set him up to be robbed and killed. It's like having a really bad Uber driver in today's world. So somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen, and that person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to you, Heather? Rhode Island, right? So that's the exact reason why we have the device that she's using. I was getting RI on regular spirit boxes. I wanted to verify with actual letters. So I'm like, if you get an RI, it's only shown up whenever I brought up Ralph's name in the past year, just so you have that idea. Moving forward, Ralph tells the doctor, hey dude, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you. Why don't you come with me? We're going to go to 59 Church Street. I got friends there that'll rent you a room and you'll be safe. Well, Doc took him up on the offer, and the two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. She gets wind of this, and she's moving down so they can be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is why I hate the damn story. Every haunted city you will ever visit anywhere is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. This one just happens to be a doctor. So why are we in Dueler's Alley? Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. So on the way home, he gets their seat. That's why they can sit next to each other. They should pick up on that. But they're walking home talking about the mattress that they just saw. Talk about you, it's great. But Ralph didn't. And they start arguing. And then Ralph is now insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda. Separate ways. Ralph goes to see his friends at the newspaper, and he places an ad in the paper for the whole city of Charleston when he thinks of the doctor. Kind of like, you're a disgrace to society kind of shit. Doc saw this ad and covered with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this and somebody's going to die. Keep in mind, this whole argument started over in after this dumb shit went down in the 1700s. The two gentlemen came down here back to back. They took their 10 paces. They turn. Doc points his gun in the air and he shoots. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just needed the courage to show up to the fight, which is often what happened in a duel back then. But Ralph still has his one bullet, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die, he fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later, on November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. I'm going to point out two things about that last statement. It is 1786. Gunshot wounds back then, a lot different than what we know of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor, so he probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but he failed, obviously, because he died. Every ghost tour, all 300 of them that come down here, tell their guests to listen for the whistles. We have 3 cameras running right now, plus my voice recorder. If we're going to get a disembodied whistle, it's going to come up on one of those 4 devices. However, spirit boxes like these 2 right here, I can't tell you how many times during my spot check that I've come across across the whistling part of a song and then doctor from a commercial immediately after. When I do my spot checks, I'm not looking for anything. I listen to minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, seeing the pattern. So I'm not looking or being biased towards listening to anything. Then I look at the list as a whole and say, oh, we were here at this time, that's relevant. We were here at this time, that's relevant. The rest of it is just random weird notes, hopefully relevant to one of you guys. That's how I do the notes. So the whistling part is very interesting. If you're going to try this on your own, walk all the way through the alley without me, because I can't take you all the way through because I've been booted out. We're going to get to that. Use your voice recorders from your phone. Just remember, every local knows the damn story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down the alley. All of us do it. So let's talk about how I got booted out of here. This is the fun part of the story. Some of you are grinning. I can see it in the dark. So the alley didn't go all the way through this way. There was a wall up there. It's the reason why I like to stop at this gate, because it's literally like the halfway point from the gate to the street. But the wall was there because this used to be called Cow Alley. This is where they kept all the livestock for the city of Charleston. So they started down there by Queen, worked their way this way over the years. The reason I'm telling you this is because those bricks down at the other end are older than the ones you're standing on. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children down there. There's a full handprint from a slave child in one of those bricks, and fingerprints wipes in others. I used to take my groups down there to show them the brick for a history lesson. There's nothing paranormal about that brick. You already know how I feel about cemeteries. That kid is not staring at that brick in the afterlife. So, November 26th, 2020, I took my entire group down there after telling them about the brick, and they all stopped and huddled around the damn brick, waiting for something to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along. I know nothing's going to happen, and it's also because we're standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful. I didn't realize we were out of bounds for tours at that time of night. The new owner of that mansion came out screaming his head off at me. My daughter, who was on the tour that night, she's about 14 at the time, thought it was hysterical. She's laughing, like almost on the ground laughing. But anyway, so we just moved on and got away from him. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on holidays simply because I worked in upper management for Walmart before I started doing this, and you guys like to fight over towels on Thanksgiving, and you started me for life. So I don't do holidays at all. So the next day was the 28th. I called my partner that I had at the time. I told him what happened so I could figure out what to do next. I was still new on this. So he started laughing just like my daughter, and he said, dude, you got to reroute your group. You can't go down that far. It's residential. So when I told my group that night, it's Black Friday and I'm sold out again. I don't believe in the next story because I've never had anything happen with my equipment over there, and I'm into vampires, not pirates. Normally I would tell you a pirate story next, but I've been kicked out of there too. So I'll explain what we're doing next instead. But before we left, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we're going to be going after. Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. So I was like, okay, maybe we got something. I took them around the corner. I told them what I knew about piracy in Charleston, which wasn't much because I only had a few hours to do some quick reading. But somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300 come out of theirs when we got over there. I didn't know what it meant. I wrote it down. I did the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. Now, this is the reaction I normally get from you guys. I was actually quite pissed off. Let me explain. I have a master's degree in creative writing and several bachelor degrees in other forms of writing. Whenever I'm researching anything, I like facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. Pirate lore was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. So Blackbeard and Anne Bonny, 100 years later, they wrote books about it. That's kind of how this goes. Whenever you guys found something over there and I needed to research it, it was like reading like encyclopedias. And then I'm watching documentaries, I'm playing video games on pirates. Like I'm probably a pirate expert at this point, but I can't tell the story anymore. So it's very interesting. Like we still get a little bit of trickle over. I'll let you know if any of that happens. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for this apparition, like I said, with Paul's camera. And then I want the other two cameras to do the exact same thing, same shot. So in the event you find something on that camera, I want to see how the other two cameras reacted to it. So I'll tell you the story beforehand. It is another popular stop for Charleston ghost tours. So we may have to wait a turn. And then I'll explain what we're doing on our last location from that point. So we've already exchanged out the battery on that guy. Let me know.
What?
It went straight to red.
That's gotta be something.
Yeah, they do that.
Well, I will tell you my charging station is ridiculous. I have a whole table at home in my office, my home office, and it's nothing but cables and the chargers for these batteries, and I make sure everything is fully charged every single day. And I have to rotate stuff throughout the day to make sure everything gets done. And this is one of the first priorities because there are 4 batteries and there's only 2 spots. So I make sure I rotate all 4 batteries to make sure we are good to go. Hopefully I'm not putting in the next battery. That is craziness. If not, I got another one inside my bag. That just said vanished.
Sorry.
Sorry. first thing I think of is that damn magic truck that came up on the dam.
Or the battery, it drained it. It's sorry.
This makes sense, right, too. So I must have put in the dead
Why
battery.
was 22 relevant?
Because the doctor died at the age
The
of
doctor
22.
died, okay.
Yeah, you just didn't know yet. It's not like part of my story, so I
Right,
figured I could
that's
reveal it right away. What's weird is his birthday always shows up. So I'm not going to tell you what the birthday is, and it's because it's a double birthday. So I'll explain that. I'm going to just pull the one out of my bag because I know that's fully charged. I have one left in here, so I'm going to get the rest of this one.
Are you right here?
Vanished and sorry. What did that say now?
Yeah, banished and sorry.
Anything else?
Nope.
That's really weird.
That is
You know, I just got which is with Doris, which is one of my grandmothers.
That's
Is
my
she alive?
grandmother too.
Yeah.
Is
You
she
probably
alive?
don't want her coming through, but
I see it all the time. So if they're passed, then I see your guys' loved ones, stuff like that come through. I just ask that you don't tell me that they're coming through. Nice full battery. We're good.
for now.
For now, right? So, Doris, did you hear anything else?
I got wind. It sounded like migraine and then her death.
I don't know anything about Amanda, the fiance, unless, of course, all this is going to be relevant to Doris. But vanished. I'm sorry. Her death. Anything else, Morgan? Did you get anything?
No, I never heard of her.
Okay, and that's okay.
Doris could be better than I'm sorry.
I don't know, but our grandmother's name is also Doris. She's alive.
She's alive. Okay.
When all this was happening, I got implement.
Anything else since we've been here? Anything new?
Index film, whip, rather, kid, reach, need, 10, normal. And that's when we were talking about paranormal. For like, you're on the normal break.
Right. Oh, by the way, speaking of paranormal, today is actually National Ghost Hunting Day. In case nobody knew that. So, again, I find I was telling Chase along the way, like normally I'm sold out on National Ghost Hunting Day, but the people that booked that day have no idea that it was National Ghost Hunting Day. So it's just very interesting because I don't think you guys all had that surprised look on your face too. But it's my line of work. I have to know these things. So there's a paranormal day and then there's a ghost hunting day. So paranormal day is normally like May 3rd, so they don't take away May 4th. So it just depends on how it falls. And then obviously ghost hunting falls right before Halloween month. All right, anything else weird going on with your devices before we leave this very warm and humid space that all of your foreheads are glistening in?
Was there anything that anybody named Joe, J-O?
Well, Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd.
It did say, sorry, I should have said N. It said hi and then it said Joe. Like H-I-J-O.
So high is not going to be a term used in that time frame,
Right.
but
But it
I'm,
said Joe.
I'm still going to take the J-O. I know it's not 3 letters or more, but again, I can't count it as being a coincidence because again of where we're at, especially with the 22 that we heard earlier. Very interesting piece. All right, so we are going to go up and around the corner because it's super hot down here. Cameras, if you want to stop them, completely up to you. So poor. The sign that says there's no ghost here is right here in front of Angelica. So if you wanted to get that shot of that sign. I told her to try to keep it as still as possible, only because hers is the more she moves it, the more she's going to pick up on all these branches and all of the little things. So if she keeps it still, and all of a sudden we get a person right here, and she wants to wave at it, so we can get a wave back.
Like a stick thing.
Yes. It's, so something just hit bag, probably a twig from the tree. Oh, what was that?
It said right.
That's what I thought I heard. By the way, the grave is. Do you guys see the cross headstone in the background? Sue is to the left and one more row back. You can see why we were closer to her when we were back in the alleyway. So where's the thermal? Oh, we got it up there. Good. I was like, wait a minute, did we get all 3 cameras? But yeah, we'll get about 7 or 8 minutes up here. We'll kind of see what we get going on. Again, we heard right. I got to write that down. So Morgan, are you listening in? Well, damn it, get to work before I fire you.
I can't multitask.
How's your light on there, Paul? You got 2 bars on the top light? See where there's like the blue dot up there? On the actual light? On top
Oh, yeah.
of it? You have a zoom on there too, right about where your middle finger is. There's a button that goes horizontally on the top of the camera. You can zoom in and out. This is a good place to zoom. Angelica, you're gonna have a job with me later. Like, that's the perfect shot.
Really?
Right here.
Oh my god, thank you
So
so
it goes
much.
this way.
Oh, okay. That's,
Like that.
I got 96. That's all I got.
You should tell.
That's
No.
it, go.
I was going to say it's either no or go.
We're not leaving yet, Sue. Not until we get a few more things.
I've gotten so many numbers. 50.
Kendra, you got anything? See you toggling.
Free pass established. The last three.
Anything weird
Turn
on your
that
end?
light on.
Not yet.
That's what I said.
I got I think it's 90 something, and then wedding.
Oh. The light off to the left, by the way, was put there on purpose by the church. It causes light flares on normal cameras. They don't want people recreating that apparition. So my cameras can see right through that damn light. And it doesn't cause a horrible light flare. So I'm sure Paul would love to test that by toggling his camera left and right. It'll kind of show it off a little bit. It'll just show a nice bright light. There's no... I told you, there's already a group behind it. Anything weird on your end?
No, it's keeping pretty tame.
Okay.
Chase. It's a quarter.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
girl.
our dog Shane.
Oh. What kind of dog
I
is
think that
Porter?
was just a
German
coincidence.
Shepherd.
Stubborn ass dog. My wife is going to school today and works at a vet office. Like, we know where the dogs live. I have 3 miniature dachshunds. 3 wieners. 3 mini wieners. I had to let the jokes come along. What's the timers look like on your cameras, guys? Only because we do have another tour. I won't be rude. Yours doesn't have a timer on it. Paul, it looked like you reset
Yeah.
yours. We'll give this another minute or two. So Brian, did you have anything going on with your camera? You've been pretty quiet down here, dude.
No, just no recording.
You gotta keep turning around to make sure he's still there. Zach, no readings at all?
Ooh, blood physical, please.
Blood physical, please.
Yes. Please, don't survive me. But it just said this.
That was good. I was going to say, wow, that's really in
Wow,
depth.
Sabrina
right
Cooper's
there.
very communicative. Blood physical, please. I don't like it.
All right, let's cut the cameras. We're gonna get out of this way.
DL.
Henry. Dr. Ladd is here. He knows to use his code word. By the way, everybody needs to know that that code word is purple. It's not a common word we would get on the radio, so if they say it,
Jesus again.
it won't generate words when it's on that screen, by the way. You'll have to go back to the main screen. There you go. Yeah. Henry, back to your work, please.
Okay, let's do it. And Jesus again.
Henry, don't know where all the religious terms are coming from. That's not something that normally occurs.
I see an older woman, like, laughing, like, smiling, happy,
Okay. Time error?
like a picture.
Can you put a time error on that picture?
How do you want me to do that?
No, I mean, can you tell us what time error it's from?
I would definitely say probably the 1800s. It's definitely older. And it almost looks like a nun. Like she's got some sort of head scarf on.
Okay. Lots of religious phrases coming in.
I'm trying.
Henry, you gotta try harder. Use those frequencies. You got 2 people to channel through. So got the blue box for imagery.
I got a
back.
Yeah, it's a bell.
So what's interesting about that bell is a common question when the church bells go off in St. Michael's. I always ask, what sound did we just hear? Because we've seen it on everything besides the images. That's the first time we've actually had bells show up. Even though I didn't even ask the question tonight.
The
So, first time.
Is there something?
It's
Probably
picking
not.
up the outline of. See what's
Yeah.
curving it? It's picking up that outline. You're okay.
Luke.
Henry, push harder. Let's get you.
Wisconsin.
Let's push through and talk about your work. Let's stay focused on your work. Don't talk too much. Henry, I like the desk, but you need to tell us more about what happened at that desk. Henry, any words? He's looking like he wants to say something, but he's not gonna say it. Henry, give us nice, clear words. Tell us about what happened at that desk. You can show us. We can interpret images. Use the blue box for that. I'm surprised Morgan's is white. I thought she was going to be a chatterbox.
So sorry.
Well, we got the I'm trying. So sorry.
Promise.
Article.
I need really loud.
Henry, if somebody else is here, you need to let us know.
2.
Who else is here? Did we already get the name?
Stand up and fight.
Let's not.
Henry, was the name already said of who else might be here?
Anne or Anna.
Veteran?
Yes, Henry, you were a veteran. That was one of your jobs. Can you tell us which war you were a veteran of? You can show us. Sometimes it's hard to find that exact word in there. Fuzzy. Yeah.
Man.
Henry, we're running out of time. I would like to have some more images. Can you show us the word that you were a veteran of? Brittany doesn't want to fall asleep in there.
Was that like an insult? Oh.
Henry, you come with respect. Back. Get the hell out of here. Go back. Henry.
14.
Henry, let's go back to your work.
24.
Slag?
Don't talk.
Don't talk to
Dan.
Wake up.
Dan.
So what gets me about the don't talk 24, usually if we start probing questions about his son who was born on Christmas Eve, 24, I usually get to stop that thought, that kind of mentality. So he's basically asking me to stay away from the topic of his son. So Henry, I'm going to respect that. I was still asking about your work.
Are you worthy?
Wow. She's getting serious with some of these damn questions. She's asking me more questions than I've asked her.
Be good.
Henry, you tell us what you want to talk about. How about that? Many topics, but you are running out of time. You got about 3 minutes. We can talk about the war. We can talk about your work. We can talk about the love for your wife. We can talk about how you met your wife. We can talk about good things. Happy thoughts from your very short life. And be specific, please.
Stop.
We're not stopping yet. 3 minutes to go.
Stop.
Henry, I'm not stopping. You know what your code word is to tell us to truly stop. Code word is home. Like, as in
I
home.
love you.
Wow, that's serious.
5.
Henry, the anniversary of your death coming up.
7. 5.
Henry, the anniversary of your death is coming up. Can you tell us what that
Vic.
means?
I
Victory?
see a man, and it looks like an art project. Maybe they're dancing or something. It
Yes.
looks like some sort of statue. I can't. You can't. Like she's posing,
Winner.
or they're dancing.
Is there
Yeah.
a time frame on that?
I mean, the guy looks more like modern age. He's got a beard. But it looks like more like a sculpture. But it looks like almost like a ballroom pose.
Okay. Take a look at that. Henry, we are running out of time. I'm going to ask you a question I don't normally ask. Just kind of reminded me. Can you tell us what kind of facial hair you had?
Scared.
You had a very distinctive mustache.
Fuck.
Wow. That's odd coming out of
There you go.
Henry. Henry, I've asked a direct question about
The death of.
your facial hair.
That's funny.
Can you tell us about your facial hair? You're kind of known for that. It's easy to recognize you with it.
What? Why did Jesus?
Henry, we are going to wrap this up. Can you tell us goodnight? We're using.
The hell something.
Oh.
He's not happy with me. Henry, last chance to give us any kind of final words. Doing once.
Stop.
That's our cue. Just go ahead and tap their mouth or tap their leg. Yep, Brittany, peel it off your face.
That was very cool.